Oh, yeah. Welcome in, everybody, to another Sports Scene special. Today is February the 5th, 2025, and we're having us a little bit of a special tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. I am your host, as always, David Wood, and joining me, the ever so effervescent co-host himself, Mr. Dangerous Donnie Wood. He's all the way over there in the hood of the Metroplex. What's going on, Donnie?
Not much, David. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Hey, did anything happen the last couple of days in sports? I mean, anything big or anything like that?
I thought we were going to talk about the rodeo and maybe some WNBA talk. I don't think anything's going on much.
Well, they just had the Royal Rumble.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they had the Royal Rumble, and then the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo still going on strong and everything. They've had actually record numbers this year. I guess it has something to do with 70-degree weather in February. Pretty nice, huh?
That is nice.
Yes.
So on the Royal Rumble, did Ric Flair win or Stone Cold Austin win?
No, it was Adrian Adonis. Adrian Adonis pushed over Hillbilly Jim right there at the very, very end.
Was Kabuki in it?
No, but Bruno Sammartino caught somebody in midair.
Really?
Yeah.
Was the Von Erichs there? Did they put the claw on them?
Only the dead ones.
Oh, see, I wasn't, man. That's so wrong.
Too soon? Is it too soon?
Too soon, man.
Really?
They just had the movie. God.
Well, hey, folks, we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. That's what this show's about, a lot of fun. We got lots of stuff in store for you. Before we get too farther along, we got to say congratulations to the Lady Rattlers. That's right, Lady Rattlers making the playoffs in Division II 3A. And, that's big, Donnie, because we've been playing 2A for a real long time and everything. They're going to be the one seed out of District 8 in Division 2. They're going to be taking on Jacksboro, the Jacksboro Lady Tigers. See there, Donnie, I do know the mascot. The Lady Tigers of Jacksboro. And they're going to get to play in a very interesting spot, Donnie. They're going to be playing at Eagle Mountain High School. And that's Jeremy Mullins' school up there in the Metro Mess, way up there and everything. Geez, I wished I had somebody close to the Metroplex that'd come help me do the show. Be wonderful. Anyway, folks, it's going to be a great time had by all. We're gonna do the best job we possibly can for you. We will be at the game. I've already got clearance today from UIL. All I got to do is get a hold of Coach Mullins and clear it with him, and then we are in like Flynn. Oh my goodness! So, won't you freeze up on me, Donnie Wood? So, want to give a quick rundown of what the show's going to entail. We got a few things to talk about. There was a little trade in the Donnie. You okay?
I'm good. I saw that I froze up a little bit. Can you hear me?
Donnie's in the Metroplex, and his straight talk doesn't work sometimes perfectly, but we're going to keep matriculating along, and he'll get with us here in just a few seconds.
I think it might be your internet.
All right,
you're out in the,
are you there?
In the boonies. You're out in the boonies, so All
right, there he is. Okay, good deal. So we've got a lot of stuff going on tonight. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things. Of course, the big Luka trade, as everybody knows, Luka Doncic traded this last weekend, and Donnie about lost his mind. We're going to be talking about that and getting a good reaction out of Donnie here in a little bit. And then, of course, I think there's a football game still to be played, and it's going to be Sunday. Is that right, Donnie?
Yeah, it's Sunday.
Sunday. And it's going to be what they call the Super Bowl. I think it's just one of those replays. I thought it was a replay. They were going to, you know how ESPN replays all those old games all the time and everything? I think, well, anyway, it's the Philadelphia Eagles getting beat by the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, shoot, man, I'm already giving away too much because we got a lot of stuff. We got a couple of questions for you guys, and y'all can answer them anytime during the program, and we will throw you up. So you can always comment down on the bottom. Hopefully our internet's going to hold up. We've got some stuff that's just popped up. So we hope that that's going to work itself out. Hang on just one second. So we got a lot of things going on. We've got the Luka talk, Super Bowl talk. We also want to know if you could trade any player, Major League, baseball, NBA, or NFL, and you could trade them and put them on your favorite team, who would you put it on? Okay. We also want to know who you think is going to be the Super Bowl, who's going to win the Super Bowl, who's going to be the MVP. And then, of course, we've got Yeah, that one right there. If you could trade for any player for your favorite team, NFL, NBA, and NBL, who would you want? And I got them for all three. I got three different scenarios one in each group. So that's going to be fun. And then of course we've got our questions. We have top 3 Super Bowl foods. We're going to be talking about that towards the end of the show, and top 3 football movies of all time, because it's football time, Donnie. It still is. It's Super Bowl, big game coming up Sunday.
That's right, David. That is right. There is a Super Bowl.
That is right. Hopefully, this internet will hold up, and we'll be able to get the show through here. I'm going to open up this and see if that helps me any.
Yeah, open that window and get somebody to
I
hold
know.
the
I just opened the door. I don't know what it is. Of course, when you get to about 7 o'clock in the evening, a lot of these internet service providers, they get jammed up and everything during this time. I guess it's everybody checking in with their wives and mistresses and all that good stuff and everything. So here we go. We're going to start this thing off, Donnie. Of course, there was a historically rare NBA blockbuster trade. I'm going to start, and then I'm going to get Donnie's comments, because Donnie's are going to be a lot more entertaining than mine for sure. And just so that everybody knows, how important Luka was for this franchise, and what he meant and everything. Donnie, I've got something I want to put up on the screen for you as I kind of run down what's going on here. Do you mind, Donnie?
No, go right ahead.
Something up on the screen for you.
Go for it.
Don't start crying, okay?
All right, I might.
All right, here we go. So the Mavericks, of course, were motivated to make this happen. I wish y'all could see Donnie. The Mavericks were motivated to move Doncic because of his consistent conditioning concerns. There had been significant frustration within the organization about Doncic's lack of discipline regarding his diet and conditioning. I don't know what they're talking about, Donnie. You can see he is the picture of freaking health right there, brother. Of course, the team sources considered a major factor for his injury issues. Now, Doncic was relatively lean by his standards when he reported to camp. His weight ballooned to the high 260s early in the season. Now, sources say that he set out 5 games in late November when the Mavericks listed him with a sprained right wrist and extended absence to allow Doncic to focus on his conditioning. He had a similar early season layoff in the 2022-23 season. Now, he had been limited to 22 games this season because of a variety of injuries. He has twice strained his left calf since reporting to Dallas before training camp in late September, although the Mavericks reported the fall injury only as a calf contusion, sources said. Now, Doncic has not played since straining his calf again on Christmas Day, but has been targeted to return before the All-Star break later this month. Davis had set out that, now, of course, they traded him for Anthony Davis was the big part of the trade, and Davis had waived his $5.9 million trade kicker as a part of the deal, according to ESPN. The decision was made to give the Mavericks flexibility with the salary cap to be as competitive as possible, while also recognizing that the money can be made back in other ways, with no state tax in Texas and in signing a contract extension with Dallas in the future. So it looks like they're hoping to keep. Donnie, what do you think? Look at that fine specimen right there. I mean, that is the body of an Adonis.
Yeah, that's ridiculous right there. That's what I think.
That was a picture of him in his Mavericks uniform, Donnie.
No, it wasn't.
That is Luka Doncic. I know his face. That's him right there.
Yeah, that's his face. But that's a Mavs maniac. I think we both could try out for the Mavs maniac. Yeah, all that what you read is.
What'd you say?
I said
you're freezing up.
Uh-oh, can you not hear me?
Yeah, it's freezing up a little bit garbled.
Yeah, I got great signal here. I don't know if
there it is.
You need
coming back now. You're good.
Okay. So I can hear it good. I don't know if it's going over on the YouTube or not, but yeah, what you read there is a bunch of garbage, basically. It ain't nothing to do about his conditioning and all that crap. I mean, Do you want me to go off on it now? You want me to tell you how I feel?
Yeah, tell us how you feel, Donnie. Because let me ask you something. Do you not are you going to tell me you're not going to consider the fact that he wasn't following team rules, especially when it came to conditioning? He's missed a lot of games this season. The Mavericks aren't setting the world on fire this season like they were supposed to. Last year they were in the finals, and do you not consider maybe they thought this supermax contract that he was up against and all of that? Don't you think that had something to do with their decision making process?
No, I don't. I really don't, because for one, he's 25, almost 26 years old. He's in the prime of his career. Nobody in their right mind trades a player like Luka, which arguably is the best player in the world. You might say the Joker, Jokic there in Denver. But other than that, there's nobody better than him in the world. I'm not talking about in America. I'm talking about in the world. At his prime age of 25, going on almost 26, it's like if you people like old like us, it'd be like trading Michael Jordan in his prime, right before he started winning all those titles. He didn't start winning. He didn't win all these titles right from the beginning. It took a few years for him to start winning titles, get the right guys around him. But nobody in the right mind does that. And yeah, he wasn't disciplined enough on the whole being in shape, far as eating the right stuff and everything. But he's still young, right? All that stuff. A good club, a good organization would deal with that, try to, keep that becoming a problem. But he's under contract again next year, and then you got the player option coming up, so going into this offseason, you would be basically wanting to put him in that super max. And I know that's a lot of money, but that's what you do. This guy, he's a generational player. And a lot of people say, "Oh, this guy's a generational player," and just kind of throw it out there, kind of like when people say, "This guy's great, he's a Hall of Famer," and a lot of times they don't think about it or think it through. But this guy is, he's been in the league. This is his 6.5 years with the Mavericks, 6.5 seasons. And the only season that he wasn't an all-star and a first-team All-NBA player was his rookie year. Ever since that, he's been all-star, first-team All-NBA, MVP candidate every year. I think he should.
Hey, Donnie?
Yeah.
Hey, Donnie?
Yeah.
I hate to cut you off for a second, but what I'm going to do is we're having some internet connectivity issues, it looks like. I'm going to try to fix it. There is something I can do to try to fix it. So in the interim, what I'm going to do is for the folks that are watching, and I apologize for the internet issues, but we're going to run a couple of spots. And when I get done running the spots, when I come back, I guarantee we're going to have a lot better internet connection, okay? We'll be right back with more on the sports scene right after these messages.
Clayton Homes of Burleson is committed to helping you and your family find the manufactured home of your dreams. Come tour our fully furnished display models to see available features and floor plans. Have you dreamed of owning a home that you can customize to fit your style? Our friendly team members are experts in showing you our homes that fit your needs and your budget. We are proud to be able to offer new energy smart zero homes that can save you even more money in the high quality Clayton built home. Stop by our home center to start your home buying journey today. Conveniently located at 3275 South Burleson Boulevard, that is I-35 West at exit 30, or visit our website at ClaytonHomesBurleson.com. Clayton Homes of Burleson, proud Rattler supporter. Tolar Rattlers always look good and protect their yard. And you can too with an awesome fence around your yard or business. And the place to go is S&S Fencing in Granbury, Texas. In business in the area since 1966, they have the experience you can trust. Cedar, custom, or ornamental, you will get the very best with S&S Fencing. Check them out on Facebook or call today at 817-578-1823. That's S&S Fencing. proud Rattler supporter.
The Shops of Toller in historic downtown district is more than an apparel and more store. It's a hometown mercantile you will love with an amazing selection of local vendors. There's something for everyone. Stop in the downtown 377 location or check out the great website at theshopsoftoller.com. The Shops of Toller, your apparel and more store. Proud Rattler supporter.
The Warehouse on 377 is the place to go when you want to look your very Toller best. They offer graphic tees and custom graphic apparel, and also offer dry cleaning laundry services with next day turnaround. Get your custom Toller spirit wear or design your own look. The Warehouse on 377 is the one-stop shop for custom apparel and embroidery. With fast turnaround times, no minimums, and volume price breaks. This Toller family-owned and operated business will get you looking your very best. That's The Warehouse on 377. Proud Rattler supporter.
And we're back. Hopefully we've got a better internet connection. Of course, I'm your host as always, David Wood, and I'm joined with Dangerous Donnie Wood. Donnie, how we doing?
Doing great. Doing great.
Okay.
I think I was watching. I had it on YouTube on my iPad, and I don't know if there's any interference before.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of breakup on you. You said it. Say again. You say how was it signing on RedTube?
On YouTube, I mean, I'm seeing it on the YouTube page. I don't have the volume up, obviously, but
yeah, it's the audio that I'm worried about. I just want to make sure that we're being able to be heard. Hang on, just 1 second.
Yeah, because you can see it on the screen, but hopefully the audio is okay. Might be time for you to get off of the 1G and go to the 4G.
Do what?
It might be time for you to get off the 1G and go to the 4G or the 5G.
Are we there, Donnie?
I can hear you.
Okay. I did plug it in.
Let me see real quick. Right here. Let me see real quick. Right here. Yeah, I can hear it on YouTube. Let me see real quick. Right here. Yeah, I can hear it on YouTube. Let me see real quick. All right, so I turned it back down because I can hear it fine.
Excellent. We're sounding good now, Donnie. I think everything's fine. I changed our source, and I think it's going to be better from here on out. So you were saying that Doncic just was lazy, wouldn't do what he needed to do for the team. Was all about the money. He wasn't going to sign here in the offseason or at the end of the season when they wanted to, and that Supermax was just too much. And Nico did the right thing. That's what you were saying before we had the internet issues, right?
No, total opposite. I was telling the listeners that, he's a generational player. So it's basically like, again, the Chicago Bulls back in the day trading off a young Michael Jordan before he starts winning all those titles. It'd be like in the NFL, it'd be like Kansas City trading Patrick Mahomes off. I mean, it's the worst trade in sports history, I believe. Even over the Babe Ruth trade, then when the Boston Red Sox owner traded Babe Ruth to the Yankees for money for a musical. I mean, obviously that owner was desperate and he needed money, so at least he got that. But
hey, wait a minute, Donnie. That was Oklahoma, and that's a dadgum good musical, man. Don't you be dissing Oklahoma.
No, that was a horrible trade. It's worse than the Herschel Walker trade. I mean, any trade you want to put up there. This is the worst trade, no matter what happens. Because even if he's even if Luka drops off and doesn't gets hurt and doesn't play as many games and is out of the league in 3 years, it's still the worst trade because you don't trade a guy like Luka that is arguably, again, the first or second best player in the league at 25, 26 years old. A guy that's a walking triple-double. His career average is 29 points, 9 rebounds, almost 9 assists a game. Playoff average is even better than that. He's a guy that's probably the most marketable player in the NBA too, because you got to look at worldwide. He is a European, so all the Europe nations love Luka. And he was. And the thing is, he was our dude. He was our guy. He was the guy that was drafted by the Mavericks at 19 years old. You brought him up. You want to see him. It's kind of like Dirk, where you drafted him, you bring him up, and then you win with him eventually.
Well, they did win with him. We won a title. No, we were in the finals.
Yeah,
we didn't win.
You made the NBA Finals last season.
Yeah,
and it was really mainly because Luka carried the team. And
if he would have come in shape and he would have played and not been, with these little bitty nimsy-pamsy injuries, and everything, maybe he'd have been worth keeping around, don't you think, Donnie?
Oh my God, that's so stupid. And I
So
know
if
what
you
you're
were a
trying
coach,
to do.
let me ask you something. If you were a coach and you had a player that just refused to follow the conditioning guidelines that the team set forth, and just all the time just was, I got to play for Sylvania in the off season, and I got to go do this and I got to go do that, and you come in and you're just not in shape. I mean, the guy was. I mean, he didn't always look in great shape like this right here, Donnie. He didn't always look this good. Sometimes he was a little heavy.
No, it's the same player that last year they said the same thing, that he didn't come in shape and yada yada. He
flopping and crying to the referees and stuff like that, and everything.
All the big stars whine and cry to the referees. Yeah, could he do a better job of not complaining to the refs? Yeah, but that's not enough to trade the face of the franchise, a guy that, again, he brings butts and seats. I guarantee you, and then I'm going to go and tell you why I think what really the reason was, what happened, because Mavericks are going to lose so much money by trading Luka. There's already at least a 30% drop off of fans that have canceled their season tickets. Next year, there's going to be a lot less, those people buying tickets. Luka brought people to watch NBA. Even non-Maverick fans was coming to the game because of Luka. And you talk about the worldwide attraction that he brings. I mean, and that's what it's all about. I don't care what you say about, they're worried about him signing the Supermax, or they're worried about his being in condition. It's the same guy that the last 5-6 years has had the same approach to it, that has basically done a triple-double every game. It's the same dude. So it's not about that. I think it's and I'm not a conspiracy guy. I'm really not. But I think there's something to the whole NBA was involved. The Nikes of the world, because Nico Harrison used to work for Nike,
right?
And so did the GM for the Lakers. They have they're like best friends. The GM for the Lakers and Nico have this great relationship. And we all know Nike is they have their hand on the NBA. They're the big money of the NBA. Basically, they can tell people what to do and what not to do. And I believe in the Lakers. The Lakers are the Cowboys, the Yankees of the NBA.
Okay.
They are the team that worldwide has a more of audience, like the Cowboys. The Cowboys are the most popular franchise in the world as far as football. Same thing with the Yankees. So LeBron's about to be gone. They want to get the player that's the best in the league, and the Joker, Jokic from Denver. He's not a guy that you can really market so much. He just goes out and does his job and does it better than anybody. But he's not a guy that you can market as well as Luka. So I think they got Luka. They said, hey, whatever you're gonna do, we got to get Luka on the Lakers. Because it's the Lakers, and it's about money, and and Nico Harrison is involved in it. I think he is. He doesn't have the fans' interest. Obviously, I guarantee you, Nico Harrison is a guy that's not going to be walking around the streets of Dallas anytime soon in public, because it won't be safe for him. Trust me. The fans' reaction from this trade is unbelievable. Even people that don't follow the NBA knew this was a stupid trade, and nothing against Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is a great player. He's a first team All NBA, first team All Defensive Team player, but he's almost 32 years old. He's injury prone, a lot more than Luka. Which Luka, this is the first time. This season is the first time he's really missed significant amount of games. You just don't do that, and to get what they got, is just no GM in their right mind would have done that trade, and so I think that's why I think there's something to it. And Luka was shocked, just like everybody else. Luka said he didn't say he wasn't going to sign a Supermax. I really believe that he was going to plan on being a Maverick for life.
Well, no, there have been reports that they felt like that he was not going to sign the contract, and that he wasn't going to work with the Mavericks too hard, and he was going to explore his other options out there. And I just don't think the Mavericks wanted to compete with it, to be honest with you. The timing really, really throws me off about this. They're saying that this deal is stunning, as it is historic. It's the first time that two reigning All-NBA players have been traded for each other mid-season. However, it's been a long time since Anthony Davis is just about as injury-prone as Luka, isn't he, Donnie?
No, he's a lot
under shape.
No, he's a lot more injury-prone. Luka, this is the first season that Luka's missed significant games. Luka is not injury.
He missed time last year.
He didn't miss that many games. You look it up. He didn't miss that many games. Anthony Davis has missed tons of games. And matter of fact, Anthony Davis has got his nicknames is Street Clothes Davis, Day to Day Davis, and there's a reason for it, because if you look back, there's several seasons that he's missed a lot of games, and he's 6 years older than Luka. I mean, come on, man! The whole trade and what they got is just not even comparable, and that's why I think there's something else to it. And it's not about them fearing that they couldn't sign him to the Supermax. They maybe they think they didn't want to sign him to the Supermax because I
don't think they wanted to.
That his whole approach to the game and everything and his conditioning and stuff, but I don't buy that, because nobody in the right mind does that. You address that as it goes, and no player is going to decline the Supermax, because the Mavs are the only team that could offer him the Supermax.
Yeah,
he would lose over $100 million in a 5-year period if he don't sign the Supermax.
Wow.
He lost. That's what he's lost. Now that the Mavericks have traded him, he's not eligible for the Supermax. The Lakers can't sign him to the Supermax.
Right. Yeah,
So
he
the
lost
Mavericks
like
have
100
cost him. The
about
Mavericks
100
have
mil.
cost him over $100 million.
Yes.
So there's something else to it. And I believe, again, what I just said about the NBA, the Nike, the Nico and Lakers relationship, Nike relationship, I think that holds water to me, because I just don't think anybody in the right mind besides Jerry Jones is dumb enough to make that trade.
We see, I think NBA owners are tired of these big Supermax contracts and tired of shelling out all this money for these players. And I think you're going to see more of this, Donnie, as the league keeps going on. If it keeps going on in the same trajectory of these super players getting these crazy contracts and everything. We want to know. We've got the question at the bottom, folks. Y'all can answer it. Just send us a little message there on either Facebook or on YouTube. If you could trade any player for your favorite team, NFL, NBA, and NBL, who would you want? Donnie, give us an example. Let's talk about NBA since we're on the NBA topic. Who would you trade for your team? Who would you want to trade for? Who would you want to bring into the Mavericks? Mavericks, your team, right?
Yeah, Mavericks are my team, obviously, and I mean, now that he's not on my team anymore, my number one guy would be Luka over anybody, and that's even over the Joker. The Joker is almost, I think he's about to turn 30, so he's about 4 years older than Luka.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it's in the short term, I'd probably go Joker, but he's the only guy that was even close to Luka. Maybe SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from Oklahoma City. And then Wemby, a lot of people would say Wemby from San Antonio, the big 7'6" center. And if you would go before this Luka trade, if you would go and ask people, okay, who are the untouchables? Who are the untouchables to trade? They would say the Jokic. They would say Luka. They would say Wemby, and they would say SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. People would say there's no way those teams would trade those players. And what does Nico Harrison do? He trades Luka, but that Luka would be my guy now that he's not on our team.
Well, I would trade for one of the players you mentioned, Donnie. Wrote down here, SGA from Oklahoma City. We need a point guard, and he's the number one position ranked point guard in the NBA right now. He averages 32.5 points per game, 6 assists per game. I think he'd have even more assists with all the big guys we have now. I think he would definitely fit in with the squad. And I know that Jason Kidd could coach that boy up. And you know what he would do? He would honor whatever conditioning rules or requirements the Mavericks might have for him. He would stay in pretty good shape, I think.
And
he's a youngster too.
He's the same age as Luka, and he's good. I mean, he's a great player, but the whole the team guidelines or whatever being in shape that don't even exist. I mean, that's that's not a thing.
Come on, man. He wasn't showing up for practices when he was supposed to. He said he was doing all his conditioning on his own and with his own group, his boys. He was playing Xbox over at the apartment, man. Come on, man. He was. He was very undisciplined. Very undisciplined.
You know what? I don't give a crap about what he's doing. If he's going to give me 30 points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds a game, I don't care if he's eating bonbons and sitting on his butt all day watching, One Life to Live or whatever. I don't care. Yeah. That's what he's done. So, you just don't trade a guy like that. And I'm so mad. I'm like everybody else that's a real Mavericks fan. That nobody thinks it's a good idea, trade.
Bad idea. I mean, it's such a bad idea, Donnie. It's one of the worst trades ever. I mean, you would not trade a player of this man's stature and his athletic prowess and the ability to just do what needs to be done on that court. Come on, folks. You got to be riled up. You got to be upset. If you have season tickets, burn them now and don't ever re-up them, man. Luka Doncic gone from the Maverick. Look at that Adonis, Donnie. Look at him.
Yeah.
He's gone.
And
All right. Hey, let's answer the other question. You got NFL on there. Who would you trade for? Now, is the Dallas Cowboys still your team, Donnie?
Yeah, the bad thing about me, I'm loyal to a fault with my teams. And people ask me, "Are you still a Mavs fan?" And I answer them this way: I'm still a Mavs fan. I'm gonna hope if they win a title. I told people over and over. Me and Lauren, my daughter, talked about this. If the Mavericks end up winning a championship in the next year or two, yeah, I'll be happy. But it won't be the same because it would be without our dude. But
he was your dude, wasn't he, Donnie? He was your dude. You could relate with him, and you could just say, Luke, if Luka can do anything, if he can do that, I can do anything. Right?
That's right. And everybody else would agree with me. The thing about now I'm flustered.
NFL.
So I'm still a Mavericks fan, always will be. I'm still a Cowboys fan, always will be. Even I think about this, with people say, "Well, I'm not going to be a Mavericks fan anymore because they got rid of Luka, our guy." And some people are that way. I've talked to people. Yeah. They've got a 30% drop off on season tickets already. So there's a lot of people that feel that way. But I'm still a Mavericks fan. And also, like the Cowboys, I'm still a Cowboys fan. Always will be. Even when they fired the greatest coach of all time, God's coach, Tom Landry, I still remain a Cowboys fan. I just can't help it. So the Cowboys, yes, I'm still a fan. But the NFL, the player that I'm going to pick that I want on my team, if I'm going to draft anybody that's in the league right now, I still got to go with Patrick Mahomes. He's still only 29 years old. The guy is a winner, and that's the guy I'm going to go with. My backup would be my second choice would be Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I tell you, not a bad choice, Donnie. Patrick Mahomes did real good. I saw a stat today comparing Patrick Mahomes and Dak Prescott, showing their stats for the last 5 games that they played, that they actually were able to play and complete the full game and all that good stuff. And Dak had a slight advantage over Patrick in the stats category. But the difference between Patrick and Dak is one of them wins and one of them doesn't. And one of them, that is his main philosophy is winning. He doesn't really give a hoot and nanny about the stats as much as he cares about making sure that at the end of the game, his team has more points than the other team. And he gives his all 110% of the time. And he ain't playing scared. He don't play scared. He's had not as bad of injuries as Dak, but he's had some good injuries. But man, he still goes at it and still gives it his all. That's where I say Dak falls down a lot is, oh my God, I sprained my thumb. I'm out 6 weeks. I mean, it's to me, it's a different type of player. Dak has morphed into now, especially after the horrific ankle injury, which we rewarded him with a big, huge, fat contract in the offseason. You talk about some dumb contracts. That was really dumb. And then you go and you give him this other big contract at the beginning of this season when he still hasn't proven that he can do what he needs to do. Oh, I'm getting off the soapbox. My choice is Josh Allen. And I choose Josh Allen because Josh Allen is the same way. He's a winner. He's a dude that's going to go out and give you all. He's a great pocket passer, but he can also run. And I like the size on him a little bit more than Mahomes. I like the fact that he can power in there and do a few things. And I think that Dak can work. Josh can work with the inferior receivers. He's got a wide receiver out there, CD Lamb. I tell you what, if Josh Allen was our quarterback, what in the world could he do with CD Lamb? I mean, come on now. He never had a receiver like him. So my choice would be, of course, Josh Allen. And I will say this. You said it. We're going to ask this question on one of our other, probably on our next sports scene. So everybody get ready to answer it. My question is, what can your franchise, your team do that would lose you as a supporter or as a fan? What is it? Because obviously Donnie, man, he's a big time Maverick fan. I tell you what, the guy's sick with it. It's crazy. And his dude, Dirk, they get rid of Doncic, and what does he do? He's still sticking with them. This is very, very puzzling to me. But what is it that your franchise can do? They didn't lose me because I'm not as passionate about the trade as Donnie is. I think it's a dumb trade, but I also am not as passionate about it as Donnie is. But yeah, Donnie's 100% right. It's your dude. So losing your dude doesn't sway Donnie on whether or not he's going to stay a fan or not. What would it take for you to fall out of love with your team? I want y'all to think about it. Donnie, don't answer it. We're going to answer it on our next podcast, which will be coming up pretty soon. All right. One other association, the MLB, which, by the way, folks, the MLB is starting up really, really soon. Our next podcast, we're going to talk about the draft. We're going to talk about the MLB. We're going to get everybody ready. And then we're going to talk about how many points Davis has to this point and how many points Doncic has to this point. Or basically, let's go with the stat that's probably going to be lower, the amount of games that they play between now and the next time we meet. So, yeah, MASH unit.
All right,
MLB, Donnie. So your team would be the Texas Rangers, as is mine. Who would you take?
This might surprise a little bit of people, but obviously a lot of people would say, Shohei Ohtani. I'm not going to go there. I don't know, something about it. But the guy that I would trade for, and Aaron Judge would be right there. I mean, it was a toss up between Aaron Judge and this guy, but I decided this guy's young. He's already an all-star. He's a great fielder, great hitter already, and he's got tons of years left in him. And his daddy used to play for the Rangers. I got Bobby Witt Jr. He's the guy that I want to trade for.
Where would he play?
Shortstop.
Well, we got a shortstop.
I would trade for, I would trade Corey Seager, or I would put Corey Seager at first base.
There you go. That's not bad. Not a bad pick. Not a big deal. And you took an everyday player, which is surprising to me because, Donnie, as well as I do, we have some good players. We have some really, really core good players on our team, offensively and defensively on the field. I like our nucleus. I like our little team setup. What wins championships? Pitching. Pitching wins championships. So you got to have a good pitcher, right? Go out and get the best one that I think would fit in with this league, with this team. And I'm talking not Shohei Ohtani. What's wrong with you, man? I'm going Corbin Burns. Corbin Burns. Now, you may not know who he is, Donnie. I'll explain to you who he is. He's with the Diamondbacks, the Arizona Diamondbacks. And guess what his record was with that miserable piece of trash team? 15-9. 15-9 last year. A 1.10 whip. I guarantee you that'd put him close to pushing out just about anybody we've got on our starting rotation. Corbin Burns would solidify this rotation. Man, if you added him to our arms that we've already got, you're going to have one of the best pitching staffs in the league. Corbin Burns, write it down, guys, and follow him this year. Corbin Burns is going to set the world on fire. Look for him in the Cy Young race.
I was looking at this as not like what we already have and all that stuff. I'm talking about if I'm starting a team, this is the guy that I want on my team. So I really wasn't thinking about, the pieces we already have. Yeah. And also, I don't think you go for a pitcher with your first pick. You got to have an everyday player. This guy's.
Oh, well, yeah. If we were drafting a team, my first pick would be Bobby Witt. There's no doubt about it. You hit it. You hit it right on the head there, Donnie. Bobby Witt Jr., I think, is probably the best player in baseball, position player-wise. I mean, the guy, he's going to be lights out, and he's young. He's going to be lights out for years and years and years to come. So, yeah, Bobby Witt's who I would have picked. But you said, who would you trade for? And if you're going to trade, that means you're dealing with your current team and your current team unit. What would you add to this nucleus? And I would go starting pitching.
So if I went with a pitcher, because you can do everyday player and a pitcher, because it's kind of different. But I wouldn't take Corbin Burns. I would take Paul Skeens. Obviously, he's a rookie last year, and he was just
Oh yeah, he's
incredible. And so he's young, so he's going to be with you for a long time, and he's a guy that is almost unhittable. So I would take Paul Skeens.
Yeah, Skeens would be great, Donnie. You're right there too. I mean, Skeens would probably be a really good one. And I like Skeens' delivery motion because he kind of has that unique motion with his arm, and that's going to be less tear. They say that he probably won't, have to have a Tom. Everybody's getting Tommy John surgeries nowadays. It's almost like a rite of passage. But with his delivery and everything, he doesn't put as much stress on that arm, and he's still throwing way, way high 90s. So, yeah, man, Skeens would be great. That's a good pick right there, too. So that was fun. Folks, y'all wanted to jump on and tell us what y'all think. That would be really, really good. We could get that up on here. And then even after the broadcast, if you watch a replay of this, go ahead and message us and let us know. Give us your answers on some of these questions. They're going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, because David, we're obviously on our YouTube page. That's what I'm kind of watching off of. But we're also on the Facebook Live.
Yes.
So a lot of people do the Facebook Live, and it's easier for them to message or something. Send a comment. I can't see the Facebook Live comment, so I don't know if you can or not.
Yeah, I can. I can see both of them. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, do you want to talk the Super Bowl, or are we going to go into that last list?
Well, I think we need to go into we got two lists coming up, but we're going to go into we got two. I added this question because it's basically going to be in the talk, but we need to talk about the Super Bowl. There's officially one game left in the 2024 NFL season. The Philadelphia Eagles will face off against the two-time reigning champion Kansas City Chiefs. Now, this will be Sunday at Caesars Superdome in New Orleans for the Super Bowl. Which team will take home the Lombardi Trophy, and which player will win the Super Bowl Most Valuable Player? So we always do this, Donnie. We've made predictions coming all the way up to this. You were 100% right. If you go back to our last podcast, you said that it would be Philadelphia and KC. I took Buffalo and Washington because I hate Philadelphia, and I just wanted to see something different in there, and I was rooting for my boy Josh Allen, even though Kansas City is my third favorite team. But I am going to take Kansas City. I think Kansas City, everybody's talking about how Philadelphia's defense is going to be able to slow down the offense. I don't think anybody slows down Patrick Mahomes too much. And then everybody discounts Kansas City's defense. If you look at Kansas City's defense, they are tailor-made for what Philadelphia does, which is have the ground game set up your passing game. And I'm going to tell you right now, that ground game ain't going nowhere. I think the front four and the linebackers are going to be able to control Saquon. Now, Saquon's going to have some yardage. He may even bust one off, but he's not going to be able to do what he did to the Washington Commanders. Also, I think the defensive backfield for Kansas City is a step up from the Commanders as well. I also believe that Jalen Hurts is one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. He's not that good. And I just don't think that, especially once he gets smacked a couple of times by Jones and some of those linebackers, I don't think he's going to fare very well in this playoff. I have Kansas City winning by 10 or more in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, I think saying Hurts is a bad quarterback is I think that's wrong. I think he's an okay quarterback, and he's obviously pretty decent. Obviously, leading the team to the Super Bowl, but you're right. He's not. He's kind of in towards the back end of maybe of about the middle of the ranks of the quarterbacks. But you look at Kansas City.
Real quick, if you could have Jalen Hurts or you could have Dak Prescott, who would you take?
That'd be tough. I would have to think about it. I can't give you an answer
because he can throw the football.
Well, Jalen can too, and he's got to the Super Bowl a couple of times, so he's obviously done something right.
Halfback pass, that's what he does. Running back throwing the ball.
But if you look at Kansas City, they've won this is their fifth Super Bowl out of the last six.
Yep.
They've won 3 out of the last 5 Super Bowls. Patrick Mahomes has got a 17-3 playoff record. He's won 9 in a row playoff games. It's hard to go against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Eagles. Basically, if they want to be in this game and have a chance to win it, Barkley's going to have a great game, and he can. He's carried that team, quite honestly, and that defense is really good too. That defensive line with Jalen Carter, Zach Braun, linebacker. That he's going to be a free agent, by the way. I'm hoping that's maybe a guy the Cowboys look towards, Zach Braun. And they got a good offensive line. Lane Johnson's probably the best offensive tackle in the league. But Kansas City Chiefs, they've been there, done that. They still got a lot of the same guys. Main thing is they got the same quarterback. They got the same head coach. And I think those are the advantages. It's a big advantage. You got a huge advantage in the quarterback. You got a huge advantage as a head coach with Andy Reid over Nick Sirianni. And that's why I got to go with, even though the Eagles are really rolling and their defense is really tough and their offensive running game is really tough to stop, but I got the Chiefs winning 23-20. I think with Mahomes, with the offensive line will be able to slow down that defensive rush for the Eagles. Chris Jones, I think, is one of the best defensive tackles in the league. I think he's going to create some havoc. And then you still got Travis Kelce, even though he's got bad taste in women, he's still there. And the Texas rookie, Texas Longhorn rookie Xavier Worthy, I think he's going to have a couple of big games, plays in him. So give me the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah,
Kansas City Chiefs. And one thing that's missed out on this too is a player that neither one of us mentioned yet, and that's Isaiah Pacheco. Pacheco had been injured for quite some time during the league, and he just came back right before the playoffs started. And he's just now, if you go back and look at the last playoff game, there were some key moments in the game where Pacheco did some things that really, really helped the Chiefs. And I think you're going to see Pacheco, especially late in the game, bust off some pretty big runs and control that football. Kansas City's going to take that clock. They're going to dominate the clock. They're going to grind on this team. And I think they're going to win. And I think you're going to see the punter for Philadelphia quite often in this game. And a lot less tush pushing going on.
What is your prediction of the score?
I said they'll win by 10 or more. So I'm going to keep that up and everything. I'm going to say that the Philadelphia will probably be 17, and I'm going to say 28 for Kansas City.
All right, I got 23-20 because I think both these defenses are really good, and I think especially with Philadelphia's running game, they'll be able to run a lot of clock there. But so I don't think it'll be a high-scoring game as that Super Bowl 57. This is a rematch of Super Bowl 57 where Kansas City, barely beat them at 38-35. A very entertaining game. I wouldn't mind seeing that again, but I think it's going to be a little bit lower scoring game. I got 23-20. Kansas City wins.
Okay. All right.
Third, a three-peat. First time ever, David.
First time ever
won 3 in a row.
All right. MVP. Let's talk about it. We already talked about setting up the game and everything. Usually they give this thing to quarterbacks. Quarterbacks tend to get the most valuable player of the game award and everything. I think it's probably going to be a defensive player for Kansas City. I think Kansas City will probably have a defensive player that will stand out and really, really control Saquon and Hurts, and probably make the MVP. So I'm going to go either Mahomes or a defensive player.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do you one better. So obviously the easiest answer is Mahomes, because you're right. It usually goes to a quarterback. But I'm going to say this because I think it will be a lower scoring game. And I think that the Eagles might get behind and they're going to be forced to throw the ball a little bit more than they want to. And I think this guy is going to create some turnovers, and he's going to be all over the field. He's going to make some tackles. But the cornerback McDuffie for Kansas City, he is my MVP. Other than Mahomes, give me McDuffie.
McDuffie?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's going to have two interceptions.
2 interceptions.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see that. I can see that happening for sure. All right. I just somebody has requested to join us, Donnie. So I sent had to send a little invite and everything. If you're just joining us, folks, for the chat, we've been talking a lot. We talked about the magnificent physique and ability, just a stud specimen of the Dallas Mavericks being traded this past Sunday morning, and Donnie is still not over it. Donnie, did you get a lot of wellness check calls on Sunday?
Man, I woke up to like 5 different people texting me because I went to bed. Obviously, I'm old, so I went to bed before this trade went down.
About 7:30.
I went to bed. It was normal time, 10:30 on a Saturday night. Because I'm a party animal, and I woke up Sunday morning gonna get ready for church, but I looked at my phone and saw all those text messages, and I'm like, I had to look at the date, thinking, okay, is this April 1st? Like most people thought.
Yeah.
And I could not focus that day, man. I was in bad shape. I'm not gonna lie.
Your brother Doug just said, "Give me the refs as the most valuable player." The Super Bowl.
See, this is what losers do. Losers always make excuses, man. And I've heard this whole ref stuff. That's a bunch of malarkey. It's the best team wins, and losers make excuses. Winners win.
Well, he's a good flopper. Dirk was a good flopper. So was Doncic. Okay, so we talked about that. All right, now I think it's time for our list, and we need some help on this, folks. So y'all need to help us out. We've got some lists coming up, and Donnie did a great job on list. Since it is the Super Bowl, and everybody knows that movie watching and dating is a sport, well, so is eating. And eating during a sporting event is a double sport. So you get extra points when you eat and you watch sports together. So let's talk about it. It's a big deal. Top 3 Super Bowl foods. These are foods that you eat during the Super Bowl. Donnie, I'm going to let you start. I'm going to look and make sure that my message went out. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to go from the third spot first, and it was there's so many great foods that you want to have at your Super Bowl party feast, and I went out kind of because I thought about it, and I went back and forth on a few things, but I went with something that probably a lot of people don't have on their list, but I love this, and it's a finger food, and it's so yummy. I've got the jalapeno poppers. I love jalapeno poppers, man.
Oh, this jalapeno poppers is good. That's your number 3?
Yes.
That's a good one, Donnie. A good one. Jalapeno poppers. Woo, I love me a jalapeno. Do you do the bacon wrap? You wrap them?
Yeah, if I got the bacon, yeah, you definitely do that too.
You do cream cheese, or do you do like a cheese, like a cheddar or something?
No, you got to do cream cheese, the jalapeno, fry it, whatever you got to do. And I don't make this stuff. I just eat it.
Make you that good old dip. Make you that Southwest dip. Dip it in that. I'm going to have to.
Sure, man. Just jalapeno poppers, man. That's a good one.
Poppers. That's a good one. That's a good one. I have chips and dips. I'm starting off, small. I got to have something that I can just reach to every now and then, just reach over and grab and, dip it. And my mouth like that. Chips and dips. Got to have it.
Yeah, that's my number 2. Obviously, and it's got to be a good chip, not a generic, chip, but it's got to be good, like restaurant style chip, and it's got to be some good salsa. Like gotta be on the hot spicy side, and then I also like to have some good guacamole dip. Man, there ain't nothing better than some dip and guacamole dip. And my wife, Story, she makes the best salsa and guacamole dip. Oh my God. And that's why I haven't trimmed down to my playing weight lately, because she makes that so yummy.
You know what? Speaking of playing weight, have you heard that Luka Doncic is no longer with the Dallas Mavericks, Donnie? He is gone. He is history, because they couldn't stand that Adonis body of his much longer. Just all the girls want. Look at that, Donnie. If you were a girl, you'd want to get with Luka Doncic, wouldn't you?
Man, I'm starting to hate you now.
Hey, Doug says wings. Doug's, if you want to join us, I sent you an invite, so go check your inbox. Wings is my number 2, Donnie. I've got wings as my number 2.
All right. Well, I'll get right to it. My number 1 is the wings. I mean, you got to have wings at your Super Bowl party. There's no, I mean, I'm my favorite, and there's a lot of them, the different flavors wings, and it's got to be bone in. It can't be no wireless. Be a man, eat bone in wings. I mean, that's the best wing. And my go-to wing is the hickory barbecue with some good ranch dip. Gotta have the ranch dip with it.
Get that rich.
And then, oh my gosh, I could eat that.
And then you just do your lips like that, and then reach over and grab some chips out of that community bowl, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, wings are great, man. That was my number 2. Your number 1. My number 1 is pizza, man. You gotta have pizza at the Super Bowl party, dude.
That's pretty plain though, man.
What are you talking about plain? Doug, you like a pizza, don't you? Doug?
What's up?
You like a pizza, don't you?
Oh, I love pizza. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. You said wings. That's your go-to, right?
Yeah, I'm with Donnie, though. I love some good Tostitos chips or restaurant styles chips with some salsa. But Donnie, gotta tell you, Michelle makes the best guacamole. Now, those are fighting words, man.
All right, we'll have a contest. I think I'll eat both of them. Dang
well,
it.
If y'all show up for family game night, y'all can both bring out competing guacamole, and we can put it under a box, and then have people reach in and grab it and taste it, and then we'll have one of the other people judge it. We'll have a little bit of see, man. That would start a good fight.
There we go.
Let's do it.
Start a great fight. Well, Doug, have you heard that there was a little trade this past weekend, and the great Adonis that is Luka Doncic is no longer a Dallas Maverick. They traded that Adonis Atlas cut body of his and sent him packing to LA where all the weirdos are.
Yeah, it was a sad day in Dallas sports, like it has been for 30 years with Jerry Jones, but it was,
What's better, Donnie?
Who knows? I mean, my thing is, you get Mr. Glass, and Max Christie is not a slouch, but it does not make sense when you trade away a franchise player like Luka. And he was supposed to be the next Dirk for Dallas Maverick sports. Get another statue of him right besides Dirk, because he would bring you a championship. I guarantee you that. But they were just he led them to the championship last year. Come on.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
But I hate LA. I don't think that made them better, because everybody says, if you listen to pundits and the talking heads, Luka has to have the ball, and so does LeBron. Maybe, I don't know, but time will tell. The Mavericks, I don't think, got any better in the short term, because Mr. Glass, when he can contribute, he may help them out, but you don't know, so we'll see.
Well, all right. Well, we're going to move along real quickly. We're going to ask you real quickly, who's going to win the Super Bowl, Doug?
What? There's a Super Bowl going on?
Yeah.
I thought football was over. I mean, spring training is starting real soon.
Well,
NASCAR, already has
I know
gotten.
you fall out when the Los Angeles Chargers lose, but yeah, they're still playing. It's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles.
The referees.
Okay, Doug's going with the referees, Donnie.
Yeah, they're going to win.
Why do we even ask Doug?
I asked him because I wanted to know. I just want to know. Hey, if you could trade for any player for your favorite team, and you could trade off of any team, any league, football, basketball, baseball, give me one. Who would you trade for?
Right now?
Put on your team, your favorite team.
Oh, who would I want on my favorite team?
Yeah.
So if I could get any player anywhere,
any player, any current player.
Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Donnie mentioned him earlier when we were talking and everything. Okay, that's real good. All right, last subject, and Doug, we're going to include you on this one. Top 3 football movies of all time. You know, it is the Super Bowl this weekend coming up, and we've made our predictions. Me and Donnie, and I guess we all 3 are taking Kansas City in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So let's talk about something that really matters, because movie watching is a sport. So let's get to it. Top 3 football movies of all time. Donnie, start us off with number 3.
Yeah, this is a tough one. There's a lot of good football movies out there. So I got a tie number 3. You know I do.
You got a tie?
That's what I do.
I have a tie too.
Number 3. My number 3 tie is a movie with one of the coolest dudes out there. He's in the Cool Man group along with myself, Matthew McConaughey. We Are Marshall.
All right. Good.
We Are Marshall and Invincible. That's my tie at number 3.
Invincible. I got the poster right there. Okay. Doug, you have a number 3? Oh, you lost your volume, Doug. You lost your microphone. What did you do? Oh my God, he put it on mute. He sounds so much smarter. He sounded so much smarter, Doug. Donnie.
He does sound smarter.
It's called technology, Doug. You put the microphone on. Oh my goodness, he fell off of us. Oh my goodness. Oh my Lord. Okay, here you go. I got a tie, surprisingly enough, for my top 3 football movie. Number 1, here it is. Jerry Maguire. Now, you say what you want, Donnie. Jerry Maguire really, really was a good football movie because they used a lot of football scenes in it. It was centered around football. It showed the agent and the player relationship and all kinds of neat stuff like that. Kind of gave us a peek of the draft and a peek of, free agency and, contract negotiation. Really, really cool movie. And I like what's her name before she got weird. She was in that movie. She was a little hot. And I'm gonna go with Jerry Maguire, and tied with another epic movie, Donnie. Epic. You know what epic is?
Yeah.
Epic.
Yes.
Generational. Sandlot, baby. You got to go with the Sandlot. Great movie. Little Giants is what I meant to say. Football movie. Little Giants. Sorry. I love it when he hit his head off. It reminded when we would play throw up, and I was Spike, and I was taking your head off. Yeah. Doug,
I'm back.
Huh?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. I don't know what you did. You muted me a while ago.
I didn't. Nobody muted you. It was on your side, buddy.
No,
okay.
It wasn't.
Number 3, top favorite football movie.
Yeah, so if Donnie gets a tie, so do I, right? So,
yeah, I had a tie too. So.
Okay, so I'm going to tie with the original Longest Yard with Burt Reynolds.
Great movie.
Huh? Yeah.
Great movie.
Burt Reynolds. And second one with the Longest Yard. I'm going to have to go. I'm going to cheat and have to go with the Invincible. I really, although it's a Dirty Bird movie, I did like the movie.
Yeah. That's the only reason why I kept it off my list. I got the movie poster over there. Yeah, I had to. It's autographed too by Vincent Papali himself. Okay, number 2. I will go first, Donnie. We'll go this way.
Okay.
I will go first on number 2. Number 2 is going to be Rudy. Rudy. That's right. Young guy going in there. He was almost Doug size, and he fights his way, gets into the Notre Dame, and finally gets to play the last game of the season. It was great. It was wonderful. Doug, you're number 2.
I read a lot of about Rudy and all the embellishment that movie took on. I'm going to have to keep Rudy off my list for right now. So I'm going to go a different direction. I'm going to go with another sad story, but it was a great movie. We Are Marshall.
Yeah, We Are Marshall was one of Donnie's number 3. So you got 2 of Donnie's already. That's really good. And Donnie, you get to pick last this time. Number 3 there.
My number 2 is a movie that was it was based on a true story, and obviously it's based out of the greatest state in the Union, Texas, and it's the Friday Night Lights movie with Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, it was a great movie. Great movie. Wonderful. Good pick, Donnie. Good pick. All right, number 1. And Doug, you get to pick first on number 1, my man.
Well, man, I'm trying to rack my brain trying to figure out all these good movies that are being left off. But I mean, golly, there's a lot of them that I could pick.
Yeah.
1A, 1B, 1C.
Yeah.
But for me personally, the very first football movie I ever watched, truly about a football player, was about Brian Piccolo.
Yeah,
so I've got to go with the Brian song. True story. Again, another devastating, sad story, but it was great acting on all throughout, and like I said, very first football movie I ever watched.
Yeah, it was a great movie. Great movie. I like the original one. They did a remake later on, and it was horrible. Donnie, you're number 1.
My number 1 is again another. I love true stories. Obviously a lot of these based on true story movies are embellished a bit, but I really like this, and when I like take that off. I like where we've come as a country and whatnot, and the people, but it's a great story. Remember the Titans. My favorite actor, Denzel Washington, is in it. I could watch that all the time. Remember the Titans.
Yeah, Remember the Titans, a great movie. Wonderful movie. Good film. We Are Marshall, great film. Invincible, great movie. I mean, there's a lot of them that are left off. Draft Day was a great movie, and a little different style and everything. But my number 1, Donnie, and I cannot believe that you had it at number 2, but it is Friday Night Lights. I mean, come on now. This is Texas and everything. I asked some people around work, what are your favorite football movies? And I was hoping some of them would come on and comment about it and everything. But I had some of these knuckleheads that were saying The Replacements. What was the other one? Varsity Blues. All these other. No, they were even barely football movies. Barely football movies. I like the real stuff, and we kind of gravitated towards that too. We had a lot of our movies were from real events, and stuff that some of us have even lived. So it was pretty cool.
All the movies that y'all picked that wasn't on my list were right there. I have like a list of movies that I put down, and I was trying to figure out what I was going to put. All those were on there, all of them. Brian Song, Rudy, Jerry Maguire, even Little Giants was on there. One of the movies that, and I would recommend, I always tell when we do this list, I always tell people, especially young parents with either younger, especially boys, junior high school age boys, a movie that they would like if they are into football. That's a good family movie and it's got a great message. Is Facing the Giants. Is obviously a faith-based movie, Christian movie, and it's not. You don't have the greatest acting in it, but it's got the greatest. It's the greatest message, and also it's got football in it. So
Yeah.
I always recommend that movie for people
Yeah.
to watch,
Just
especially
don't
with
watch the
young
movie.
boys facing the Giants.
If you're going to watch a football movie, don't watch that movie that has that. What was that? The Kevin. Oh God, I can't remember his last name. The heavy set actor, and he played on that TV show where he's a UPS driver. His first name's Kevin.
Yeah, I love that guy. He's funny.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, but he plays the guy, the New Orleans Saints coach, right?
Yeah, Sean Payton. He played Sean
what-
Payton in this movie. It
yeah,
was the
what-
most god awful movie I've ever watched in my life, and I cannot get that time back. No matter how hard I try, I cannot get that time in my life back where I sat and watched that horrible, stinking movie.
That's a bad
I won't
movie.
even watch that show anymore, and I like that show because it had that real cute redhead girl in it, and I can't watch that show anymore because I was so disgusted with that movie. It was horrible. And they had that dude that used to be in Twilight, and he was Taylor Swift's ex-boyfriend. He's a coach, a Texas coach. There ain't no way they give a guy like that a Texas coaching job. Come on, man.
Yeah, they kind of did ruin that one.
Yeah,
but he's a great comedian. I love that dude.
Yeah, he's funny.
Paul Blart, come on, man.
Yeah.
Watch that movie. Don't laugh.
Man. He's ruined it for me. Here Comes the Boom. That was one of my favorite movies. It even had Selma Hayek in it. It was great. And I thought, man, this could be good. He's going to, how's he going to pull this off? But he didn't. He didn't pull it off. It sucked. It was horrible. It was a bad movie. Don't watch it, folks. Not a good movie.
Not a good movie.
Not a good movie. So, Donnie, where are you watching the game?
I don't, probably at my house, probably. I don't have any plans.
Okay, so what time are you going to have the jalapeno poppers and the chips and dips and the wings and everything? What time are you going to have all that spread out there at the place? I'll know what time to show up.
Well, it will start building up right after I get home from church. So we'll start kind of, going at it as we go, because it's a long day, right? The game don't start till 5:30. So I don't want to be in food coma before halftime. So I got to space out.
Let me ask you, at your church on Sunday, are y'all still going to pick up snakes and stuff like that? Or are y'all going to not do that for fear of missing the game?
Yeah.
No? No?
No snakes.
No snakes. Okay, good. No snakes. Donnie will not pick up snakes on Sunday for fear of missing the game. Doug, where are you watching the game?
You don't want me to answer because you know what I'm going to say. I ain't watching the stinking game.
I'm going to be watching NASCAR.
I'll be watching the Puppy Bowl maybe, but yeah, I got to go to church and I'll come home and do some work outside in the yard and I don't know. I might eat me some wings and jalapeno poppers just in remembrance of what could be.
Okay, so more importantly, what are you doing on Monday evening?
Monday evening.
Yeah.
Yeah, put it on the spot.
Monday evening, I'll be at the gym working out. I know that.
Don't you want to support the Toller Rattlers?
What's going on with the Toller Rattlers?
Well, they're going to be in playoff action at Eagle Mountain High School, where Coach Mullins has his new spot over there, and they're going to be taking on the Jacksboro Lady Tigers in playoff basketball action. I need a partner, man.
Playoff basketball.
Yeah.
On Monday
night.
Yeah. Let me get back with you.
And since we're halfway there, after the game, we could have a post game party over there at Thackerville. Get us some produce.
Hey, Doug will be asleep by 8:30. He'll be asleep by halftime.
I don't get to go to sleep till maybe 11. Oh, thank you very much.
Donnie, what do you got there? You got a little pop-up you want to share with the crowd?
What is that?
Who is that? Who is that, Donnie?
What the heck is that?
He looks like this guy. I love it. Donnie's just a little sad, Doug. Well, everybody, I want everybody to keep Donnie in your thoughts and prayers. Do remember to stick around. We have put those little slides up. We've been adding to the slides for the intro of the show and also for the outro of the show. So stick around. We're fixing to go off the air. And when we go off the air, we're going to play the other video. So there's 2 already, but this is 2A. And this is, that was 1A, the intro. So this is the 3rd video that I'm sharing with everybody. Y'all watch it. Donnie, you got something to say?
Yeah, before we leave, our next show I think we're gonna do our first mock draft. It's gonna cover the first 3 rounds. That will be next show, hopefully next Wednesday. So you got something to look forward to. And just a little, there you go. A little tease. I got a question. You can answer this on our next show. Would you trade your first round pick? You might have to give up something else for it, but give up your first round pick this year and possibly another first round or something for Myles Garrett. Would you do that? Myles Garrett's on the trading block, and he sure would look good in a Cowboy uniform.
Wow, that's a great question. Would you trade your number 1 pick in this year's draft for Myles Garrett, man? Myles Garrett. Now, when Donnie, you've been using the word generational player a lot. That's a generational player, I think. Myles Garrett, man, he is something special. And comparing and adding him with Parsons, oh my gosh. That's a difference maker, isn't it, Doug?
Yeah, I would do whatever it would take. This year's number 1, maybe a 2 this year, and maybe next year's number 1. That might could get him here. But he is the man on defense when he wants to be. So yeah,
he's a stud. All right, so everybody stick around. Watch the outro video as we sign off for this week. Been a lot of fun. We got to listen to Donnie talk about how much he was so thankful that the Dallas Mavericks finally got rid of Luka Doncic. And I'm a little upset about it myself. I don't see how you can trade an Adonis like him, somebody that has the athletic prowess and physical statuesque body that he has, and trade him to a different team. That's just crazy. What's the matter, Donnie?
What? Why do you keep putting his face on you and Doug's body? I don't understand that.
Yeah, David took that photo of himself and just cropped Luka's.
Oh man, come on now.
Hey,
Come on now.
Johnny, I just want to ask you: have y'all been watching Luka when he's interviewed in L.A.? He looks like a sad puppy. He really does. He looks hurt. He looks so upset.
Well, I'm sure he's medicating quite nicely, and he'll be okay. I don't think Luka's gonna suffer any. And at the off season, they'll give him, some LeBron money, and he'll be happy.
Yeah.
Hey, Nico Harrison, if you're listening, I know you like to watch our show. Nico Harrison, if you're in Dallas, do not go outside. I'm just saying.
Oh,
there
my
might
goodness.
be a little.
Donnie,
there might be a little red dot.
Somewhere
on the body. Just don't go outside, Nico Harrison.
Don't do it. All right, folks. Well, until next week. Not next week. Well, we might do it next week because it'll be after the Super Bowl and we can start talking about draft. So it might be next Wednesday night. And Doug, if you're available, we'd love for you to jump on and join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a sports scene special. We'll also have results of the girls' playoff game and letting everybody know what's next in tune because they're going to beat them Jacksboro Lady Tigers. I can tell you that right now.
That's right.
Until then, everybody, God bless, and we'll see you down the road.
See ya.